Isang grupo ng mga eksperto sa pangunguna ni dating Health Secretary Manuel Dayrit ang sumusuporta sa dahan-dahang pagbabawas ng physical distancing sa public transport sa gitna ng pandemya. Gayunman, sinabi nito na kailangang mahigpit na ipatupad ang kombinasyon ng ilang health measures na tinawag nilang 7 Commandments. Kabilang dito, paggamit ng face mask at face shield, pagkakaroon ng sapat na ventilasyon, at wastong disinfection. Kausapin natin ngayon si Dr. Dayrit. Magandang gabi po sa inyo, Dr. Former Secretary Dayrit. Thank you very much for joining us.
Magandang gabi, Pia, at sa mga nanonood.
Yes. Yes, well, Dr. Dayrit, you have no real issue with yung reduced physical distancing on public transportation, but you do have those 7 commandments that you think are non-negotiable. However, can you help us understand? Dahil ang sinasabi po ni Secretary Eduardo Año and Secretary Francisco Duque, non-negotiable din naman daw yung 1 meter apart, no, for physical distancing. So what are we supposed to believe and what are we supposed to listen to?
Siguro, Pia, the way to think of this is mga preventive measures para maiwasan ng transmission. Mga preventive measures, madaming mga measures yan, madaming mga hakbang yan. One is physical distancing. Another is wearing of face masks. Another is wearing of face shield. Number 3 is proper ventilation, hygiene, etc. So many health measures. Ngayon, sa mga health measures na ito, ang physical distancing, ang recommended based on scientific studies is 1 meter. Ang sinasabi ng mga studies is at 1 meter, you have the largest amount of protection from physical distancing. In fact, merong mga scientific studies dyan. Okay? Pero pagbawasan mo yung physical distancing, at sinasabi nila, nababawasan rin yung pag-iwas ng infection. Okay? Ngayon, pinag-uusapan natin ito dahilan sa yung public transport. Pag 1 meter ang mga distansya ng mga tao, ang nangyayari, hindi talaga nagkakaroon ng enough vehicles for public transport. Hindi kaya, lugi yung mga operators. So, kailangan humanap ng paraan na itong physical distancing na ito ma-reduce. Samantalang, yung ibang mga measures like masks and shields and ventilation and disinfection are in place. Kaya dyan pumasok yung 7 commandments. Ang sinasabi ng 7 commandments, maski bawasan natin ng bahagya yung 1 meter, protektado pa rin ang mga tao provided strict ang pag-follow ng 7 commandments na yan na flinash mo. So yan ang natin. That is the reason we proposed itong 7 commandments. And among the 7 commandments, a reduction of physical distancing. So we're not reducing physical distancing by itself because physical distancing is not the only measure to protect against getting infection.
Alright. So ang sinasabi po ninyo ay pwede naman tayo mag-physical distancing 1 meter, 2 meters apart. But if we are careless and not wearing proper face mask, face shield, etc., doing disinfection, wala rin, no? Secretary, I wanted to ask, what you're saying is, with these 7 commandments, what you're saying is we will have to live with this. We will have to, in a way, coexist with COVID-19. But until when? Although I think many people have written off 2020. Para bang, sige, okay na, alam naman nating for the whole year, ganito na tayo. Hanggang 2021 po ba ito? Or 2022? Is there any way of knowing? Or should we just say, let's look at 2022 or 2023?
Pia? Okay. Pia?
Yes, Secretary.
Batay sa based on what we see about the course ng epidemic dito, it appears that hanggang 2021, meron pa tayo nitong problema na ito. Until 2021. We hope that we can get a vaccine by maybe the middle or late of 2021. Pero before we get the vaccine, we are our defenses against COVID-19 remain the same. Physical distancing, masks, ventilation, face shields, yan ang ating way of life ngayon. So hanggang 2021 yan, Pia. Pag nagkaroon ng vaccine at nabakunahan ang karamihan ng mga tao, maraming mga tao, pwedeng magbago yan. Pero based on my evaluation of the course of the epidemic now, tatagal pa ito hanggang 2021. Certainly until maybe the middle of 2021.
Okay. All right. Dr. Dayrit, my last question. You mentioned the term way of life. Pag way of life ang pinag-usapan dito sa Pilipinas, there are two big events coming up. November 1, All Souls, All Saints Day, and Christmas. Yung All Souls Day dito sa Metro Manila, tapos na, wala nang problema because sarado na lahat ng sementeryo for undas. No? Yun ang patakaran ng mga Metro Manila mayors. Pero the rest of the country, we're not sure yet. Secretary Anyo was saying that they are going to think of this possibility of closing down all the cemeteries all over the country. But there's also Christmas. So mga Pinoy, tayo, ang hilig natin sa family reunion, get together with friends, Christmas parties. What do you suggest, given the situation now? How do we celebrate Christmas? How, should we just have virtual reunions, or can we see family and friends, but, follow those 7 commandments? What do we do?
Yeah, for Christmas, ang palagay ko, it's virtual reunions. Ang families will have to stay in their homes, and then minimal, of course, they can travel, pero unless the IATF allows many of these gatherings, it's going to be in the homes, and people will have to connect virtually. Kasi Pia, it's the other way of thinking about this is there are what they call super spreader events. And super spreader events happen not just, for example, in public transport, if that's one way of transmitting it, no? It happens during social events, particularly during parties, weddings, and so on and so forth. So, kailangan i-limit itong mga social events na ito, unfortunately. I think this is the way our Christmas is going to be.
All right. Well, I guess we can live with that. We'll have to live with that because if we want to coexist with this, that's what we're going to have to do. Secretary Manuel, former Secretary, Health Secretary Manuel Dayrit, many thanks for being with us tonight. Salamat po, sir.